mercy without frontiers. On April the 5th, 1994, on the eve of the Holy Orthodox Feast of the Annunciation, a presentation took place of the People's Aid Center Благовест, the Russian word for Annunciation. The love and the mercy of Благовест bring comfort to many people, among them disabled persons, orphans, those who are ill and live alone, elderly people, and those who have suffered from calamities, catastrophes, and national conflicts. The presentation was attended by the people who contributed to the formation of the People's Aid Center, along with its sponsors and founders, as well as representatives of the Public Association Danish People's Aid. On behalf of Russian President Boris Yeltsin, the General Secretary of this organization, Max Simonson, was awarded the Russian Order Friendship Between the Peoples for his great personal contribution to the cause of strengthening and developing Russian-Danish friendship. Congratulations, be healthy and happy. What other nations besides Russia enjoy the help of Danish People's Aid? We've been working 70 years now, due to individual contributions. Our aid was first sent to the Soviet Union, Romania, Bulgaria, and Hungary. Now there are big projects in Albania, in Pakistan, actually in many countries. But our love for Russia becomes ever warmer. One of the performers at the charity concert was baby girl Tanishka Aspergina. One of the founders of the organization is People's Artist of Russia, Valentina Tulkunova. Valery Zolotukin, People's Artist of Russia. It's already 2 years that I've been engaged in my own affair, my church. I promoted construction of a church in my native village, Bysty Istok, in the Altai region. Many years ago, there was a wooden church which was destroyed in the 1930s. This should never happen again. Let's believe in God and trust that the churches will never be destroyed anymore. And we will participate in this activity, in the activity of благовест, contributing with our savings or simply with our wishes. In my village, there was a boy who brought a 1 ruble coin. Is it much, a 1 ruble coin? For a church? Yet it is worthier than a billion. What would you wish for your center? Mrs. Dragunkina, President of the People's Aid Center Благовест. You know, the anniversary of Благовест on the eve of the Annunciation and the opening of the Days of Danish Culture, these are exciting events, but they are events. Meanwhile, everyday help for individuals is a part of our center and of Danish People's Aid. I would like very much that our words never diverge from our deeds. I will be happy if my colleagues and I manage to help many people in this life. On May the 12th, 1994, the People's Aid Center, along with other public associations, signed in the Moscow Kremlin an agreement of social consent. Among the founders of Благовест, there were well-known figures from public health, education and culture, as well as representatives of the Russian Orthodox Church. Among the main sponsors, there were the commercial structures of Danish People's Aid Moscow and the Ministry of Emergency Situations. Help was provided by the banks Incom and Menatep, by the State Insurance Agency, Rosgosstrach, by the Russian Peace Foundation, and by everybody who is able to show compassion and mercy, and who is willing to help someone's nearest and dearest. The Feast of the Annunciation coincided with Danish People's Aid Days in Moscow from April the 4th to the 8th, 1994. The Moscow Council of Veterans has invited tens of thousands of people who spent their best years struggling for their homeland during World War II and restoring in the post-war period that which was destroyed during the war to the All-Russian Exhibition Center to give them simple gifts, humanitarian aid from Denmark. Tents and field kitchens set up in the area of the exhibition center reminded veterans of their youth in the army. Have you tasted the porridge? Yes, I have. It's fine. It's already 50 years since the war ended. Sometimes I want to cook the pearl barley porridge as it was when I was in the army, but I don't manage it. It comes out too glutinous and thick, and I like it thin like this. It was thin maybe in order to spare food and to feed all the soldiers.
Чтобы было побольше каши, а поменьше крупы израсходовать. То есть, чтобы был солдат сыт и продуктов больше сохранить.
Where did you fight? I fought on the Second Ukrainian Front and on the Southern Front. When the war was over, I was 18 years old. I was in the army for 3 years. From the age of 15, I began to serve in the field units. When the war began, I served in an anti-tank battalion inside the city.
Вот теперь считайте, 3 года я была в армии.
С 15 лет?
Да, это я была с 15 лет, это я была уже в строевых частях. А так я еще была, как только война началась, я была в истребительном батальоне в городе.
Ну попробуйте, хоть она напоминает.
Does this porridge remind you of what you ate in the army? No, this one is more tasty because there's more pearl barley.
Эти подарки достанутся в первую очередь ветеранам войны.
Gifts are intended for veterans, first of all for needy ones and also for needy old people. The main part will be given out to elderly people's homes. One part will be given out in a psychoneurologic dispensary where lonely old people are treated. There are a lot of veterans in Moscow and other places, but thank God about 10,000 needy people will receive this gift. There are many such public funds and associations now. If each fund reaches someone, we really shall stretch a hand to everybody who needs help. We have received 25 tons from our friends and partners from Denmark. We would never manage it without so many voluntary assistants. In 1994 alone, Благовест employees transferred around 250 tons of humanitarian cargo, products, medicines, medical equipment from Denmark and other countries to various children's houses and hospitals, to societies for the blind and deaf, parishioners of Moscow churches and churches in the Moscow area. The majority of this humanitarian aid will be sent to other areas of Russia and also to the Crimea, Tajikistan and Kazakhstan. Constant help is being rendered to families with a lot of children. The Mars Corporation, due to the assistance of the Director of External Relations in the Master Foods Russia Joint Stock Company, Mickey von Sleeman, has transferred to the center more than 100 tons of Snickers. A charitable concert was diverted to this event where children enthusiastically performed alongside professional actors. Families with a lot of children are the object of the center's constant care. Mr. Vorobyev, First Deputy Minister for Emergency Situations. Organizations such as Благовест, which organize holidays for children who have been in the Chernobyl area, carry out generous activity. Благовест employees do their best to help children. It's very important. It's necessary to support these noble people. It is good that it occurs on such a, let's say, commercially unfavorable basis. They work for the same salary. Chkalovsky Airport, not far from Moscow. From here, planes will bring children from families with social problems, from areas affected by the Chernobyl catastrophe, and from the Semipalatinsk region with its nuclear polygon, to Denmark on holiday.
Откуда ты?
Where are you from? I'm from
А ты
Kzyloda.
откуда?
And you? From Kazakhstan, the Bryansk region, the Orlov region. What level of radiation do you have in your region? I don't know.
А счетчик
Do you have a Geiger counter? No. You what, live there without counters? I don't know. I don't have one. We live close to Uzlove. There's a high level of radiation there.
А какой это?
How high? What numbers? I don't know. Very high. And our town, Novomoskovsk, is nearby.
Какой у тебя костюм красивый.
You have a nice costume.
Я занимаюсь.
I'm from a dance group. We're taking our show to Denmark.
Мы везем программу в Данию. Будем там выступать.
All those who are flying in an airplane for the first time, raise your hands. What beautiful faces you have now. What beautiful smiles. From a letter. I am glad that after the death of my husband, my daughter was made happy for at least some time by visiting Denmark for a break. In this difficult time, I and my children felt as if nobody needed us, and we're pleased to know that there are people who want and can help us. Planes with children have landed at the NATO aerodrome in Denmark. The General Secretary of Danish People's Aid hospitably met the visitors. In a few hours, the children will begin their holiday in the small but very hospitable country in the homeland of the great Danish storyteller Hans Christian Andersen. Today, children will be taken to 33 places where they will stay for a month and have a rest. Most of all, I am very glad that we've managed to do this for almost 3 years. I hope that it will continue. I am glad that the international action of help, solidarity with children in Chernobyl, with the help of perfect sponsors and our main owners here, the Danish People's Aid, is our life. How are you getting on? Yuri Kazaryan, General Director of the Danish National Aid Moscow Joint Stock Company. Very well. the business which we started 2 years ago when we organized the Danish People's Aid Moscow organization, the main purpose of which is the organization of humanitarian actions in the former Soviet Union, in the CIS and Russia, has shown that it lives. The present day is confirmation that everything is going well. The children not only rested, breathing the pure, soft, magic air of the Danish kingdom, but also observed the life of the Danes. And they also had an eye kept on them, too. With how much love the Danes look after the flower beds of their beautiful and accurate houses. After coming back to Russia, the children will also probably want to arrange the same bright, blossoming world they have seen in Denmark near their houses. The name of the ancient Russian city of Ryazan, written by a child's hand on a coast of the Danish kingdom. Sea waves will wash it away soon, as well as the lock constructed from sand. But they cannot wash away the memories, the fond memories of Denmark and of the people who have come to help children with difficult destinies at a difficult time. The summer holidays have ended imperceptibly. The children have come back home to Russia. General Pavlov, commander of the Chkalovsk division of the Russian Ministry of Defense, We have carried out the task given by the government to bring the children to Denmark and back. This final flight, as all previous ones, was a success. We appointed the most experienced crews because we had very special passengers, and the whole event had a special character. We've done everything to assure maximum safety and comfort.
И мы старались сделать все, чтобы обеспечить здесь максимум надежности и безопасности.
Всего 13
Mrs. Dragunkina.
было в этом году, из них 8 в Дании.
13 flights in total, 8 to Denmark, the rest of them to Norway, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and there was even one train that brought our kids to Slovakia. The children are weak, especially those from the Tula, Oryol and Bryansk regions. For example, 23 of them have hyperthyroidism, grade 2 and 3. You may not do this, you may do nothing at all. Just think about what must be done. But I know that we've organized a wonderful summer holiday for 1,500 children. And maybe we will do something like this for Christmas.
А может быть, впереди рождественские для них будут. Было 18 территорий России.
We covered 18 territories of Russia, plus for the first time we had children from Kazakhstan, the Semipalatinsk region, from Altai, and from the extreme north. Of course, we would never have done all this without great help from the Ministry of Defense, and particularly from the Air Force, Chkalovsk Division, and the Ministry of Emergency Situations. We also had financial support so we could provide tasty food for the kids during the flights, buy them good clothes, dress them the way we liked. We got assistance from the road police, the ambulance service, the ministries of railways, foreign affairs, from many public activists, and of course, from the Danish People's Aid.
Министерство иностранных дел и много активистов-общественников. И, конечно, датская народная помощь. Она существует уже более 70 лет в Дании.
Sometimes I became desperate and I asked Max Simonsen, maybe it's enough. Should we stop this year? But all those Danish people say, we walk on this earth and we can help, so we must do this. Right after that action, the Danish People's Aid started a fundraising company for the Solidarity with Children of Chernobyl 95 events. Our children, together with young actors, participate in these concerts with great pleasure. It means in autumn 1994, we started to get ready for summer 1995. This is an example of the fact that one should talk less and do more. Благовест is celebrating the anniversary of its activity with new actions. The staff of the People's Aid Center, numbering only 10 employees, have prepared and sent humanitarian aid, products, clothes, Snickers to the children's shelter in Tomilino, near Moscow. Humanitarian aid is being prepared for other shelters, children's homes, hospitals, for war and work veterans in Moscow and the Moscow region. Parcels are being prepared and sent to many regions of Russia and the CIS. Children's faces brighten with genuine pleasure when people who give them all the warmth of their hearts come to see them. Russian Exhibition Center has become like a home from home for the People's Aid Center because all the services help it as much as they can. But after the days of Danish aid in Moscow, it was completely unexpected when the Danes decided to make a completely tremendous gift for Благовест and to present it with the house. After a ceremonial laying of a time capsule into the foundations of the building, 5 workers worked very hard on its construction from 7 in the morning till 8 in the evening every day, including Saturdays and Sundays. By the middle of November 1994, in the shortest time span, its construction was completed, and on the 27th of November, the white and green house of Благовест, before its opening, was consecrated by the Metropolitan of Pitirim, Volokоламский, and Verievsky.
И во всем благое поспешение подашь, Господи, всем труждающимся в доме сем, и сохрани их на многое лето, многое лето, многое лето, многое.
Give good help to all of them, God, all who are in need, and may they live many years. Congratulations. This house is modest. There is nothing superfluous in it, but there is everything necessary for the work of the People's Aid Center. There are even small warehouses next to which the people who have come for help can keep warm. Let this house be kind and warm. Let mercy be without frontiers.